To the Indian rupee, which saw its worst daily fall in more than 2 weeks, tracking global cues. Custodian banks selling dollar in the late trade, however, helped the rupee recover to an extent. The Cyprus bailout package has sent shockwaves impacting the euro and the dollar, and that is putting pressure on the Indian currency as well. But it really is the RBI policy tomorrow which has the markets keenly awaiting right now. Let's get in then. NS Venkatesh, he's Treasury Head, RBI Bank, and he joins us live for his sense on the currencies. Mr. Venkatesh, hi, welcome. What are you reading into the RBI policy tomorrow? 25 basis points factored in?
Yeah, I think the market has already factored in 25 basis point. Hopefully, I think there is a little bit of elbow room for the central bank to start cutting the rates.
Mr. Venkatesh, also what's the sense that you're getting in from the international markets right now? Because what's happened in Cyprus really has had most of the asset classes reeling.
I agree. It was a real, I would say, a surprise package in the sense that with the Cyprus banks, the depositors running for the money, withdrawing cash from the ATMs and all those things, the tax thing, and again it got deferred today, so they are trying to discuss it tomorrow. So I think it is putting pressure on the euro currency. The thought process is that if it is only for Cyprus, then it is okay. But if it starts spreading towards the entire eurozone, then it is very, very bad for euro. So to that much extent, if euro starts weakening, it will definitely have an impact on the rupee also.
Mr. Venkatesh, there are those levels of 1.26 coming back into the international reports. Are you looking at that much bearishness?
Yeah, it is there. It is there because 1.28 today morning, then it closed at around, not closed at this particular point of time, trading at around 1.29 sort of levels. But if tomorrow, let us say the Cyprus Parliament doesn't take the decision, or it takes a decision which is very adverse, then I think there could be a little bit of bearishness creeping in, which will have the euro actually coming down to around 1.26 levels.
Well, apart from Cyprus and apart from the RBI policy tomorrow, it also is the Fed meeting which starts tomorrow. Are you looking or reading something important coming in from that?
I believe that they will continue with the same stance. I think that though there could be one or two voices in the Fed which says that, okay, they should look at tightening the quantitative easing. But I think this time also they will discuss, and then maybe I believe that they will continue with the easing till they see that labor numbers are within the numbers that they are projecting themselves. So I think they will continue with the quantitative easing, which will be more or less okay for the dollar-rupee parity.
Mr. Venkatesh, what's your sense on how the rupee will open tomorrow, given what we are doing in the international markets and the kind of cues from today as well, and also whether RBI does cut 25 basis points or 50 or doesn't? I mean, looking at all of those factors, how do you look at the rupee range for the rest of the week now?
Tomorrow, I think at least it should open a little bit positive because of the RBI rate cut being on the background. So if that happens, then it is a pro-growth stance which RBI is taking. So that will bring more foreign flows into the country. Today also we had seen most of the foreign banks were sellers. So to that much extent, there will be supply of dollars coming into the market. So I think the dollar-rupee parity should be anywhere trading at, let us say, around 54.30 at the maximum, and maybe 53.60.
Vijay, let's get you in the conversation as well. How is the rupee looking on charts now, and where do you see the rupee trading tomorrow?
Manisha, I maintain my view that the rupee is likely to weaken against the dollar. Number one, you have safe haven buying in the dollar because of what's happening in Europe. Number two, you have a kind of a situation where the market is, if given 25 basis points of a rate cut, is unlikely to feel it's enough. And I don't think a very generous rate cut is in the offing anyway. So given either which ways, I think in the absolute near term, the rupee might just hold its own vis-a-vis the dollar. But given 3 to 5 weeks max, I think the rupee is likely to decline against the dollar, and by decline I mean a noticeable decline. As a matter of fact, I've bought small quantities of US dollar in the forward market even today, and as far as levels are concerned for the March month futures on the currency derivative segment on the NSE, I don't see the March month futures in the rupee appreciating anything beyond 53.85. And should it weaken, today's high of the USD now was 54.48. That high is likely to be overcome fairly smoothly. And should the rupee weaken significantly, I think 54.75 would be a very fair possibility on an intraday basis tomorrow.
Mr. Venkatesh, coming back to you, and we have spoken about the rupee and the euro as well, but what's your sense coming in for the dollar index now, which has been gaining strongly, and 2013 really has been a good one for that?
That is essentially because of the risk-off mode which is happening, where the dollar is being taken as a favorite currency. So I think that is one which is there. Even today, if you see, because of the Cyprus issues, the U.S. treasuries have been, the yields on the U.S. treasuries have really gone down. So I think it is essentially because of the safe haven currency of US dollar. That is why it is happening. It is going at those sort of levels. But having said that, I believe that Indian rupee should be actually in the shorter term should see strengthening because of more flows coming into the system, where they see that the growth story of India is intact, and if RBI as a central banker starts cutting rates to aid growth, definitely it should bring more dollars into the country, which will help the the rupee strengthen vis-a-vis the dollar. But the underlying trade deficit and current account deficit and fiscal deficit, those stories still remain. But the central government has put out a budget which says of 5.2 and 4.8. So if you are looking at those sort of numbers and achievable numbers, then I believe that the dollar or rupee should strengthen vis-a-vis the dollar in the shorter term. The longer term is maybe again depending upon the fundamentals of how the other like the Eurozone, how it is coming out of the recessions and all those things which will aid our exports. If that doesn't happen, then rupee is under pressure.